Crossing now to Iran, where voters go to the polls on Friday in the first round of the country's presidential election. Incumbent Hassan Rouhani is facing a challenge from conservative hardliner Ebrahim Raisi. Now, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has called on Iranians to come out and vote in force. He said a strong turnout would send a message to the United States and its allies. Khamenei did not say which candidate he favors, though it is widely believed that he backs Rouhani's main challenger, Mr. Raisi. Well, joining us tonight from Tehran in Iran is Iranian affairs analyst Adnan Tabatabai. Adnan, it's good to have you back on the show. It's good to see you. So the election is tomorrow. I mean, this is a crucial election on so many different levels. I want to start with Iran's relations with the rest of the world, particularly the U.S. and the Trump administration. Would Ebrahim Raisi continue with Rouhani's efforts to improve relations with the West?
With the West, yes. You started with President Trump.
Right.
With President Trump, I think not necessarily, as also the Rouhani administration has not really continued the normalization process or attempt that they did with Obama and Kerry. But with the West, I would even think of Mr. Raisi being willing to continue.
And it seems tonight we're looking at a main challenger who is a very conservative against a moderate incumbent, Mr. Rouhani. Which way would you say Iran is swinging right now?
I think that the current trends do suggest that Rouhani will be re-elected tomorrow. But there's no one you speak to who really strongly excludes a surprise or a sensation, which a Raisi win would actually be. And we have seen the campaign rallies with masses of people. So there is strong support for him. But I personally do still believe that the favorite or the one with the biggest chance of electoral win is indeed still Mr. Rouhani tomorrow. And that would mean that the process of a more moderate Iran internally and externally would continue.
And, you know, Adnan, when we look at those pictures there of these campaign rallies, I mean, they're enormous. And the people, you know, are just, you know, in almost like a sense of rapture there. They're so into the moment. You know, we can't talk about elections in Iran being window dressings for any type of democracy, can we? I mean, there's a lot at stake here. And do people feel like that their voice and that their vote will make a difference tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. I think you have already referred to that. The elections in Iran are somewhat special. They are pre-designed in some way in that the choices for the people are limited. But when it comes to the final candidates, it's somehow a real and genuine competition. Mm-hmm. Last night, I went through the streets of Tehran and I pretended that I'm a voter who doesn't know who to vote for. And you should have seen the attempt and the desperate attempts by voters on each side to convince me to give my vote to their respective candidate. They think elections matter, and elections are the one moment coming up every third or fourth year to actually have a say in politics, which is why people take them seriously.
Do people, too, when they talk to you, Adnan, and when they know that you also live here in Europe, do they have the feeling that maybe they have to explain Iran or what's going on in Iran? Is there a feeling that the outside world is somewhat disconnected to the reality that is Iran?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not necessarily in conversation with me, but many of my non-Iranian friends traveling to Iran tell me that every Iranian citizen they meet feels the need to tell them what the real Iran looks like. Mm-hmm. And there certainly is still this need to compensate for the lack of exchange and communication between Iran and the outside world. It is becoming better because you see much more tourists than before, but the need is still there to explain Iran to non-Iranians.
All right. Adnan Tabatabai reporting tonight for us, giving us valuable insights from Tehran on that election that takes place tomorrow. Adnan, thank you very much. We appreciate you taking the time to be on the day.
Thank you, Brent.
And the day continues online. You can write directly to me at Brent Goff TV on Twitter. Don't forget to use the hashtag #TheDay. And remember, whatever happens between now and then, tomorrow is another day. We'll see you then, everybody.